Hey, we are here with Elysian Road. This is episode 35. We're back after a little bit of a hiatus there to play some more adventures in space. We're continuing our space adventures, and where we last left off, our heroes. Evelyn was commanding a space fleet through. Did you actually use precog stuff, or was it just you hooked into
No, yeah,
their comm system? That's what it was. Yeah. And so it seemed to everyone like she was precog, but she wasn't actually precog.
yeah.
Yeah. And the rest of the gang, while this was happening, and you're trying to get the White Sun Brotherhood off world, so they're safe. And Ode, Fergus, and Dylan, to that effect, went down to the moon of Bratislav, where there was supposedly a laboratory, Imperium laboratory of some sort, that was holding what's called a panopticon matrix, which is basically a hive mind of AIs that can run a planet. And supposedly the Imperium was booting it up before they should have, because in theory the Hephaestus engine was the thing that was supposed to be able to power these things properly. But they were booting it up to try to stop the White Sun Brotherhood, or something went wrong. It was unclear exactly what was happening there. And Fergus, Odin, Dylan found a giant mech robot thing that had been possessed by this Legion AI, and fought it, and then it flew off before you guys could kill it into space, and then hacked the entire Imperium fleet and is now using it to destroy the White Sun Brotherhood. And the last thing we saw was Evelyn going down into the cargo hold to fly her mech to go stop it. Before we do that, we'll get a quick flashback scene. And I think what we see is we see the bridge of a ship. It's obviously an Imperium ship. We're used to the style by now. And we see the Master of War for the Imperium, this big Viking guy that we've seen before. This is Victor's father. And he's standing kind of like, classic villain pose with his hands clasped behind his back, looking out over the void of space and his fleet, right? As probably it looks like the fleet is gathering for one thing or another around him. And Sample comes up to him from behind. We see this robot chassis clank over, and the Master of War says, I trust your mission was a failure then. It was foolish of me, I suppose, to place all of my hopes on a child. And Sample says, forgive me, Master of War, if I am incorrect in my assessment, but aren't you still placing all of your hopes on a child, this Evelyn Leidner? And the Master of War seems to think about that for a moment, and then he kind of slowly shakes his head, and he says, I don't think so. I think that we have moved on from Evelyn Leidner into a new future. We will need someone to guide us, yes. But I think this someone does not have to be human with all of their failures and foibles. And Sample pauses for a moment and then says, Project Legion requires the Hephaestus engine to properly, and then Master War cuts him off and says, Project Legion will run when I say it runs, and not before or after. Have I made myself clear, Sample? Sample just kind of bows his head. And then the Master of War says, if we're going to conquer the galaxy, we will need more than one girl. We will need a legion. And then we cut from there. We see Evelyn Leidner get into her mech. What music is playing, Evelyn, as we see the boot up sequence and the mech like getting on top of you and stuff?
So there's this song. Yeah, I remember the name thing was definitely a joke. I don't know why.
Yeah, I figured.
Okay. From what your response was, I thought you were serious. That sounded cool to you. No, so there's this instrumental song called Retropolis, or I'm sorry, it's called what's it, Stranger Synths. And I thought that'd be a really cool song for the soundtrack of this mech battle out in space, so there's no sound.
Yep, sounds good. I'll have to add that to my playlist. Yeah, I was down with remember the name when you said it, and then I listened to it again. I was like, oh, this doesn't work at all. all I remembered was like the chorus, and then I listened to the verse. And I was like, oh, this is just about being a rapper. Like this doesn't make any sense.
It's dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. So we see Evelyn, the mech close around you, which has been named the mech that was named the middle finger. By Ode Anger.
That's right.
Yeah. What are the rest of you going to be doing while this is happening is the question, right? Like you guys are still on planet, and did you guys take you took the opera house down to the planet? Because
if I remember correctly, we other than Dylan, we're all basically on the ship. So like the second he flies away, I think we would. At least Fergus would say, okay, we're going to space.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm assuming you guys are flying probably close behind him then. That makes sense.
And Fergus is riding on the outside.
Sure, yeah, because he can.
And once he gets into space, we'll get there.
Sounds good. Cool. Well, let's go ahead and just kind of figure out this setup here. So let me change to this screen. Okay. So we got your mech here, Evelyn. What size is this thing?
Well, technically, I think she has a heavy mech, which is like enormous. So I don't know if she's.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest.
It's one of the biggest. So it's not like Hulkbuster size, I don't think, right?
I'm pretty sure
I think it's bigger than
that. I think it's like Gundam size.
Really?
Because, well,
I don't know how that works. Gundam size, but
because remember we talked about it, and like the smaller mechs are like fighter sized, and then this one, remember because the mass didn't really make sense. I think the mass listed on the mech was the same as on like a frigate, but the mass for the small mech made sense with the mass for like a fighter. So we weren't sure if it was supposed to line up or not, but if it does, then it's ridiculously enormous. I remember you saying you thought maybe they were just supposed to be ridiculously enormous.
Maybe. I mean, we've already described Evelyn's mech as not being Gundam size, so we can't make it that at this point. But
I don't want it to be. So.
We'll say in D&D terms, it's huge. So it's like,
oh yeah, like the four.
Yeah, 4 times the size.
That makes sense.
That's probably the largest it could be and still have made sense for where it has been.
yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, Evelyn's popped inside there. And so far, yeah, we got Evelyn's new token here, which is still, I love looking at it. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's really good.
I'm excited to get Ode and Dylan's.
Yeah.
And then we got the other mech.
Dude, that mech is so big, it's like the size of like a galaxy.
So this is what's behind you in the far distance.
It's the size of a galaxy that's so far away you would die before you got there.
Exactly. You would die 1,000,000 times over before you got there.
Right.
And the opposing mech is the same size, I take it, since you just...
Yeah, I think so.
made the token that big?
I believe so. I don't think there's any. I mean, I'll double check the map that we had it on a second ago.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It depends on what it is.
Ooh, what was that map?
We'll just assume your mechs are the same size. Although, actually, I think his was smaller, wasn't it? Because I think his was like a light one, and yours is a heavy.
I mean,
one.
it doesn't matter what the size is on the token, as long as the stats are.
That's what I mean, though. I'm pretty sure if it was a heavy, we would have just instantly, or maybe it was. I don't remember anymore.
So I had it be even larger than that. I had it be gargantuan apparently on this other map.
Oh
wow. But
yeah, I think you made it a light one, didn't you?
Yeah. Well, we're just gonna have a. Let's have yours that size, Connor. Not looks like it's the face.
Hey, let's go.
It's like Diva's neck, where you just like are weirdly inclined so that your face is just plastered against the glass.
Yeah.
But I did actually have the other one this size as well. So I'll probably actually just make them both this size. Whether or not, I mean, it doesn't really matter. The stats are the important mechanical bit of that, whatever size they are. I don't think the game actually gives you an actual like squares on a map size, so it doesn't matter.
Well, and I was referring to the statistics when I meant that. I think you made it light in that I think it has quite a bit less health and armor than Evelyn's does, but I'm not sure.
Either way, yeah. So it's kind of like small Gundam sized. And so this is the question. I don't really know how to run mech battles.
I think it's just vehicle combat. Basically,
is it just vehicle combat?
As far as I can tell, the only major difference is that when you shoot someone, their armor reduces your damage and your AP reduces their armor. And I think that's it. As far as I can tell. At least that's how we should do it, because who cares?
Yeah, otherwise? I think I remember that being largely the case as well. Roll20 is going slow today. Maybe it's my internet. Cool. Yeah, so it's just taking into account armor piercing stuff and whatnot. That's the idea.
Right. Because we're at a scale where we don't have to worry about the weird transition of how much damage they're dealing. They just hurt each other normally. Yeah. And then there's armor involved.
Cool. Sounds good. I think I need to pull up the other mechs, though. The other stats. Because I have Connor's here, obviously, but that's what I should have done. I should have put those stats in. All right, cool. So Connor, you see like the mech, right? Floating in space, directing the fleet. And I think you also honestly probably see like a villain moment of the mech like drawing shrapnel and debris from the fleet into itself to like self-repair sort of a thing, right? Like it suddenly brings out like a bunch of little tiny drones and they start like fixing itself because it was damaged a little bit from the party, but I think it's starting to self-repair itself as it hangs there in space. And I think the Opera House will be rather close behind, but I think Evelyn is going to be able to kind of have a few rounds with it before you guys show up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I guess.
And it's going after the ship, right?
So it is going after the fleet, right? So it's not really doing anything itself. It's just kind of hanging in midair. But you can tell suddenly the Imperium fleet is like way faster, way stronger, way more coordinated. Remember, that's the last thing that happened.
Mech is here.
Yeah, and that's all. So I think maybe, I don't know if your people informed.
Can I make a no roll?
Oh, I remember what it was. It was Vigo figured it out. Remember, Vigo was like letting you know what was happening. He was like, "Oh, it's Project Legion. Like, look, the AI is controlling everything." And so that's why you went out in the mech, is because everyone was like oh no, what do we do? Like, this is really bad. And you made the snap decision.
Okay, so this is a part of Project Legion. Is now the AI has come in and is now controlling the whole fleet.
Yes, that's the idea.
As in, what's his face?
Like
what's
sample.
the AI's name?
Sample.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he described it as like getting near it, and then the whole fleet just sort of lurched in one direction, like all of a sudden started moving with one.
Yep.
One
accord.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's kind of my thing.
Exactly.
Being able to look into the future and coordinate everything well. And now
Yep.
I can't, so that sucks.
Turns out you should have been born as a supercomputer, I guess.
Yeah, if only. Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
So Evelyn gets into the mech and obviously flies out, and I think we like see her hand on like the controls inside the mech, and her hand is like shaking.
Yeah. Sounds good. Let's go ahead and roll some initiative, shall we? I'm actually not sure what bonus they would get to this. What do you have?
74.
I think I rolled that correctly. Yeah.
Man, why is this glitching out? Yeah, seems right.
What?
Said yeah, seems right. Sorry, it's taking literally forever to load anything right now on the Roll20. I don't know why. What's your actual bonus here? Oh, you have a 0. All right, I'm just gonna. Okay, got a 9.
Of course you did. +4? Holy heck. I have a +0 to initiative.
Computer.
Dang.
It's like a level 10 plus AI class thing, right?
And so this isn't Sample. This is Legion, which is something different.
So as far as you guys know, I think the extent you know about that relationship is the name Sample is basically comes from Sample is one of, or at least was one of the AI that are in this hive mind of interconnected
He's a sample
AIs.
of the Legion. Right?
Exactly. He's a sample of Project Legion. So whether or not he got reincorporated in the time that you last saw Sample, you don't know.
Okay.
Cool. So I think as you're approaching, the mech gets he gets to act first, basically. So it's like this weird moment, Connor, where like you would usually have the benefit of the doubt here. You would have your ATM burning, right, and be able to be ready for whatever's going to hit you. But suddenly it's just shooting at you. The mech is just pointing a railgun and firing, and you're just like, you didn't see it coming, and you're like, dang it. So let me trying to get ship AC and stuff. Okay, there it is. Ship HP and ship AC. Perfect. Okay. So yeah, it has like a bunch of like thick armor plating on it now, from the like ship wreckage it's managed to fuse to itself. So it has like a weird kind of like, it's like it has giant shields that were once like wings of a starfighter on its arms and stuff, and just kind of like haphazardly thrown together and fused with drones. And then it points an arm and just like railguns, shoots a railgun at you as you approach. So let's see.
Great.
Oh wait, what's its attack bonus? Oh, I guess it would be. I'm sure I wrote this. I had this. I give it a +10. Okay. 23. I think that hits, yeah.
What is my armor class?
It's a
well,
16.
in a mech. Is it different?
Yeah, it's a 16.
It's a 16.
Yep.
You're very easy to hit comparatively, but you also have armor, so.
Okay. Now, does Oracle? No, I'm sorry, not Oracle. Does what's it called? Does my
all your psychic powers work normally.
Right, but what's the Ironhide? Does that have any effect?
I doubt it.
I don't think so.
Because
it's the mech that's doing all this now.
Okay.
Yeah, and Ironhide kind of assumes it's something about you. Like it could literally just be that you have cybernetic implants in your body, which wouldn't help you any in this case because your mech is taking damage at you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one of the things it does say in Ironhide is it could be like precog stuff, which I think would work with mechs, but that's not the rules.
I think it doesn't work mechanically. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
So what's your armor? Yeah. Okay, you have a 15 armor. Unfortunately, the weapon he just fired has a 45 armor piercing. So,
what?
What does that even mean?
Mustn't do very much damage.
It ignores armor.
Basically, it's designed to not care about anybody's armor. But usually, the weapons that do that don't do very much damage. Like our multifocal laser does 1d4, but it has 20 armor piercing.
All right, so did 14 damage to you.
Now, where is my HP for that? Is that in my
it should just be on the token there. Sheet? Do you not have control of it? Do you have control of the token? Can you see the token's health right there? The mechs.
Sorry, I was looking at the character sheet. Yes, I can.
Okay. So
and I can change it. Or
I just change it. I think.
Yes, I can. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we're good.
But yeah, as long as you can see it, you can just do it from now on.
Yeah.
Yep. So as you're approaching, it riddles the hull with bullets. You see a bunch of flat. We get the Iron Man scene where we see Evelyn close up, and the lights like before her, the screens, flashing warnings and stuff. Hull breach, hull breach. And then some, you maybe like spray some foam to like patch a hole and then continue flying forward. And then it's you.
Yeah. This is very interesting. Is anybody talking to me over the like comm links or anything?
Don't.
Or is it just me in the silence of space?
I think it's just you in the silence of space, unless you like have set up something specific, particularly, and have been talking to someone else, right? Like, yeah.
No, and she can't think very well right now. She has to put all of her focus into what she's doing.
Distractions right now. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not something that she wants to do.
If you hit it with a finger of God a couple times, I'm pretty sure it'll just die.
I'm pretty sure if I hit it once, it'll die.
It could. I just didn't want to be too hopeful.
So with the finger of God, Caleb, on the psychic mech, I see a +7. Is that factoring in my shoot?
Yeah, that should be accurate.
I remember.
Okay. And no modifier, I assume.
Yikes! You got to.
So I rolled a 1.
Oh, no.
Wow. Wrong finger there.
Yeah, did we just
really
see
high damage roll too?
We just see Evelyn like fiddling with the control and just like maybe her hand's so sweaty that she just like slips and like just fires off into space.
Your mech just flips.
No, I think she pulls an Aang and she like feigns to one side and then like uses her she reaches for him with her like MES knife and then like uses her like bottom left boot jet to like flip herself over the mech, and she gets this perfect line of sight shot with the finger of God, but she like has that like Aang to Ozai moment with the lightning, and she just like can't shoot it. She can't shoot it.
I have a thought here. What if it's like Evelyn is so used to seeing the shadows of things that she flips over and goes as if to. No. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I didn't realize you were trying to explain something else. I thought you were trying to explain the reason why she can't shoot it, but my thought was the reason she can't shoot it is because this is how Till died.
Oh yeah. That makes sense.
She's about to use the weapon that killed Till. She can't. Yeah, and she can't do it.
Nice. Sounds good. Yeah. So I think the thing is going to the mech is going to probably hack. Like you hear something on like the whatever channel your mech comms is tuned to, and you hear like 1,000 million voices all say in unison, "Have you come here to die?"
I think she, and this comes through her comm.
Yeah,
somehow?
It's like you hear like the frequency like change and like it's being hacked or whatever, and then suddenly you just hear this. Yeah.
I think she like lets go of the controls and covers your ears.
Yeah.
I think she's freaking out, man.
We see the mech just kind of like...
She's also in space in a mech. This has got to be the most claustrophobic environment in the world.
We see the mech suddenly like stop its motion and then just like kind of continue with its momentum, but like not like just frozen, right? As you like release the controls. And then the mech will go ahead and fire its rail gun. So I think it could only use that rail cannon when it was like, oh yeah, it has the slow tag and the ammo tag. So I think either way it can't do that again for at least a little while. And partly it probably can't fire when it's just so close to it too. And so it's gonna grab out its like secondary weapon, its railgun, and try to like fire point blank at you. So I got a 25. So that hits. And this one only has an AP of 15. What is your AP? Oh, your armor is 15. So it just barely gets through all of your armor, so it's going to do full damage again. But this one does less damage. But it's going to do the same amount of damage. So another 14.
Oh, that's good.
You're half dead.
Yep.
This is when we show up, right?
No.
I think it's getting close. Yeah.
You can't shoot the finger of death. It's going to get a lot. Yeah.
Evelyn, what do you do?
I mean, she definitely tries to fire the finger of God again.
Yeah.
I'll wait to see what the roll is before I describe how, I suppose.
Yeah.
13.
Nope.
13 is not hit. No.
What's a hit?
16.
Really?
Well, that's on you.
I just literally rolled a 6.
16 is a hit on you. Yeah. If he's a light mech, then he'll probably have a better armor class because he's harder to hit.
It was 16.
Huh?
I remember I think it was 16 from last time because
when you were, yeah, you're right. I forgot we shot at him before.
So
I thought it was 16.
As a reminder, I have described that he reinforced himself with a bunch of ship parts. So this is
that's why he got his health back.
Yes,
right?
This is. He is completely different stats because this needed to be more of a dramatic fight than killing him in one shot with Finger of God.
Unbelievable. Okay, Caleb, I'm gonna send you a message real quick on Facebook. I'm gonna
go ahead.
Ask you about something really, really, really wonky, and I want to see what.
Oh, real quick. So the tag slow, which your Finger of God also has, after firing, the attacker must roll an intelligence-based shoot skill check against difficulty 8. For psi weapons, use intelligence and an applicable psychic skill. On a failure, the gun must cool down for 1 round before it can be fired again. I think I'll just assume, because I didn't roll, but I didn't fire it, that the other one he failed and it had to be cooled down. because we already passed through it. But go ahead and
He also has an ammunition tag. Does that mean he can only fire it so many times?
yeah, let me check that too. Yeah, ammo means after the end of every fight in which it was fired, the pilot needs to make a shoot skill check modified by wisdom against a difficulty of 6. On a failure, ammo for the gun is run out until the next maintenance cycle is complete. So
it won't matter for the fight.
It will not matter for this, yeah. But yeah, Evelyn, go ahead and make that check now real quick. I'll let you get the free second shot. And you missed anyway. But go ahead and roll an intelligence-based precog check to like make sure the weapon doesn't need to be recharged or cool down or whatever.
Okay.
Because I think you actually get it off now, right? But it misses.
Give me one sec.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me know what you think of that. I'll roll the intelligence. Is it an intelligence check?
Yeah, no, it's a precog.
It's not a roll.
It's precog with intelligence.
Oh, precog check.
Yeah, because it's a psychic. It's a psychic weapon.
Okay.
Basically, this is just like your psychic stuff. Like, are you able to like concentrate?
How am I using?
It's just, I think you don't need to use precog per se, but it's just like your psychic aura or your psychic concentration or whatever it is that powers the gun. So you're good. You can fire it again next round. It's just basically, do you lose concentration or whatever? Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's like it doesn't need to cool down. So it's like you don't overfire it or whatever. Let me read this message that Connor just sent me.
It's really wacky. I've had it in mind for several.
Oh, that's
weeks
a perfect. Yes, 100%. I have
okay. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I was literally thinking about that exact thing.
I was considering doing it right now.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking about this today while I was thinking about this encounter. I was like, this is what needs to happen. Not what you said, but like the more generic part of it. Like, she needs to do this.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna get the story to that point, but this is perfect. So I think we see right this moment where Evelyn fires the finger of God, and it doesn't, we have already established it doesn't do anything. Like you can't see anything. We just know she missed, right? It's just kind of like a wave of blank force that misses. Maybe there's like ship piece floating by, and it disintegrates right into nothingness. But and
it's super like shaky, right? Like she's like pointing it, but like her accuracy is terrible.
Yeah, for sure. Which is pretty much like Evelyn anyway. But
wow. Okay.
But we see this like back and forth right between her and the mech, and it's very eerily similar, right? Or familiar to us. We saw this sort of thing with what's his face with Crawl before, but Evelyn was in control then, right? And they were both using precog to like great effect. This is Evelyn fighting against an AI who can see so fast into the future. It's almost as if he has precog, and Evelyn without any precog. So she's fighting herself right now. Like that's the the power level. She's not used to having this little control over a battle like this, or at least over her own movements and reaction times. And so everything she's doing is just being outmatched and outthought by this AI. And yeah, there comes a moment where Evelyn, it fires the railgun point blank into your chest, and maybe Evelyn, by the force of the concussion, the mech starts like being thrown out into space. You're kind of hanging there as you're like flying away from the AI, and you're just like, I don't know how. And you can see it's like firing up its railgun. It's like more powerful railgun again to like blast you like straight in the probably cockpit. And it used to be deadly. Like this is like a moment where like Evelyn's like, I want to die. And then she hears the frequency change again, right, on the comms. And then she suddenly hears Till's voice. And he just says, Evelyn, don't let him beat you. Don't let it beat you. It's doing what you can do. No, it's pretending to be like you, but only you. Or I have to say this exactly right.
It's okay. I do this all the time.
Yeah. It's pretending to be like you, to do what you can do. But there's only one Evelyn Leidner. Yeah, but there's only one
She
Evelyn
freezes
Leidner.
for a moment.
Real quick, there's yeah. So right, he says there's only one.
Yeah.
There's only one Evelyn Leidner. And then he says, I'm trying to think of the way Till would say this. Kick its Greek word for butt here, right? But I don't know what, exactly how he would in Greek, in a way that we would understand as Till. Yeah, whatever it is, yeah.
I think she like freezes for just a second, and we kind of get this like slow motion, like thing where the other mech like closes in for a shot and fires and some sort of laser or something like that, and the laser gets like right up to the cockpit, and then everything just like slows down, and then we just like reverse time. And we come back to where I missed, and I'm gonna how do I do commit some effort for the day, and I'm gonna roll again.
Yeah.
This is kind of funny because
that'd be fine.
The way this actually works, right, is this isn't Evelyn actually reversing time. This is Evelyn perceiving time differently. So what's funny is that entire thing that we just described was only happening in Evelyn's mind. She already did precog, right?
Which makes it very, very like what just happened there for the audience. Yeah. Like, what the heck was that? Because it wasn't real.
Yeah.
But it was
for Evelyn
in a
moment.
certain reality.
Yeah.
Yep.
Quick,
oh my gosh. Evelyn.
Hearing what?
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Oh, you got it. Yeah,
I thought that 13 was your roll, which is why I laughed.
That was a crit 20, y'all. That was a nat 20.
So I would like to think that Evelyn, what was happening there, right, is Evelyn can see possible futures, right? And Evelyn looked into a future where, someone just dropped. I think it was Carly. There you go. Evelyn looked into a possible future where Till was still alive and giving her advice. Right?
That's cool.
So that totally just broke. I mean, I'm a +4, so it's like fine. But I just broke the laws of the psychic thing. In that moment, I reached outside of our own timeline.
Oh, Josh Lang in chat has an amazing line. He said, "It's not over until the fat lady sings." Till would know that. That's an offer.
Nice.
So I'm just absolutely critted. So there isn't a crit function in this, though, is there?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Is there a crit function in this game?
I don't think we have ever done it.
Okay, that's unfortunate, but it's fine.
But you know what? I think it's cool for that to happen in this exact moment. So I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
What does that do?
I guess you would just. For some reason, I had you do 44 damage, but that's not how that would work. Go ahead and just roll. 40-12 again.
It is actually.
I mean, it could be better.
Roll 40.
Yeah, it could be better than 44.
And you actually got a pretty good roll.
Popping, or is that just me?
I'm not hearing any popping.
So what do you want me to do?
Yeah, okay, it's probably just my headphones. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't getting into the recording.
Yeah.
40-12.
Oh, that's what I already rolled. What?
Yeah, but he's letting you roll again.
So you're doing double dice, right?
That's the right.
Oh,
you're adding
thing.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay. I get it. So I'm just gonna roll this again and just ignore the attack roll.
Sure. Yep. It's another 30.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Nice.
That's 52 damage.
Yep.
Well, he has armor, but you probably ignore it because I think
Finger of God doesn't.
Finger of God, I think, just ignores all armor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, so does a weapon that has 45 armor. It's basically the same.
Yeah.
But
let me take a look here, just to make sure we know what we're doing. Finger of God. So it would depend on if a psi weapon automatically does that. Yes. Psi weapons completely ignore a target's armor rating. Except for any armor.
Yikes. Okay.
Except for any armor granted by the MES shunt channel defense fitting. So there's like psychic armor that someone could have, but this guy doesn't have it. So.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So Evelyn, you fire Finger of God and the mech just like half disintegrates, right? Just like starts peeling away. And I mean, given I guess it can store its the armor outside of it would be the thing disintegrating and not its like important critical functions. So it's not like the AI start breaking or anything, but it's certainly very vulnerable now.
So just as a side note, I have neural activity sensors that allow me to psychically detect any sentient minds built into the mech. So you can use that to describe what is inside this mech. Obviously, it's not a sentient mind, but it kind of is in some sense.
I think given stars with numbers definitions, this would count as a sentient mind, right?
Yeah, that's a weird way to say it unless you're trying to imply other things beyond regular people.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you would just say people unless you meant something weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you already were kind of sensing that then, but you can definitely like, it's like a weird like see into the void moment, and the void stares back, where it's just like there are so many artificial intelligences in this one chassis for some reason, and like it doesn't even make sense, Evelyn, when you're actually like looking at it. Like the data just doesn't add up. Like there's no way that this mech could power the amount of AI that's happening in this right now.
Okay, yeah.
You have no idea how this is happening.
Quantum BS. That's my guess.
Exactly. Oh, thanks, David. I just figured out how they are actually doing this with that statement you just made. Very nice.
Yeah, I'm proud of that.
Thanks, David.
Yep.
All right. So, it's going to go ahead and fire its big gun again. And miss.
Nice. She sees it coming this time.
Yep.
It's working out well.
We just see, I mean, it's like Evelyn suddenly gets control of the movement of the mech, right? And it like flies with its rocket boosters in an arc, and the AI is just like following you with the railgun, but is never able to catch you, right?
Yep.
Very good. All right, Evelyn. I think this is the moment where we see Evelyn, like, she's starting to get control of herself. She's like, okay, I can do this. She's pointing the finger at God again. Actually, first off, make your psychic roll again. Make another precog with intelligence to see if you have to charge it or let it cool down. Because it is slow.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Oh, and I'll do the same thing for the mech, too.
And it's precog with intelligence. Okay.
Ooh,
that was As an 11.
Yeah, so you're
I
good.
read yours and I was like, wait.
Yeah, the mech, the AI failed to recharge it in time, so it's gonna have to use its less weapon next time. That was a really bad roll for it. And then so you have this awesome moment, Evelyn, where you're just like about to like just save the day, just finish it off once and for all, and that is of course the moment where Sample hacks your mech. Right?
Okay, so this isn't Sample.
So you can tell the difference, right? You can suddenly feel
now I can
all of the controls just seize up, right? And now this is the question. I'm trying to figure out what Sample's game plan is here. Like, I think I've seeded enough foreshadowing, and I was thinking of just making a decision on my own, but I'm curious if we can crowdsource this. If you guys think, well, what's the most dramatic and interesting way to go about this? Does Sample want to work with Project Legion? Like, does he agree with what's happening right now and wants to just kill Evelyn? Or is he going to turn against the Legion at this point for some reason? And if so, what reason would that be? Like, he obviously disagreed with the Master of War that
I don't know,
this on.
This is kind of a you thing.
What did you say, Kevin? What was the last thing you said?
Well, it's because the Master of Sample disagreed in the flashback we just saw. He disagreed with the Master of War that the Legion should be turned on, right?
Right.
So I could.
But would he betray his own kind over that?
That's the question, right? Like, I could see him wanting, if he did do this.
Other than that foreshadow, there hasn't. Or sorry, go on.
Well, I was just going to say if he did do something like this, it would be for a larger plan that he had, right? Not to help Evelyn, right?
Did he disagree with turning them on without the Hephaestus engine? Is that what it was?
That's what it seemed like.
Or just generally? So I mean, my gut instinct is that he knows that doing this is not good for the AI. What they need the Hephaestus engine to do this properly, and it will be detrimental to the AI without it.
And
so
he probably knows we have the Hephaestus engine at this point.
Yeah, so I think it's less that he wants to betray the Legion and more that he wants to keep them alive. That makes sense to me. I think he probably has a bigger purpose for that, but I think it makes sense if he's...
No, I know what it is then. So this is what happens. Okay. Evelyn, your mech freezes up, right? It gets hacked. You're suddenly just like stranded and like all of probably what happens is all of the sensors and stuff that you have, they just go dark and you're just like, he's shut them all off for you. Like, they're still you can still feel the mech humming, like it's on still, but Sample has just cut you off from all data. So you can't see what the mech is, any of the vital signs or anything like that. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm fine. I just have to shoot blind, basically.
No. But what happens is the mech is under Sample's control and it just starts flying away from Project Legion. Right?
Okay, so I want to do Sense the Need and to have something where this never happened.
Okay.
I don't know what that thing is.
You'd have to figure that out.
But
stiletto charge?
That's what I was thinking. Could it just be a stiletto charge?
Probably. Yeah. Fergus has plenty of those.
Okay.
Plenty is
well, you have at least a handful left, right?
I think I have 4 left.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
So does the stiletto charge just auto win, or do you actually have to know what you're doing?
It's a +2 to a roll.
Yeah, I don't think it's just like
no. Sorry,
stiletto charge is an auto.
Stiletto charge is automatic. There's a
right, but is it like
Fergus's other stuff
plugs it in and automatically wins, or do you have to still know what you're doing?
I don't know if you have to know what you're doing or not.
Because I don't think it's like a.
I mean, you don't have to make a roll at least, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't have to
make a roll at all.
No.
Yeah, I mean that's So I'll look it up, but
so I think it is a 4-year-old plugs it in.
I can look up the.
When used as a part of, I'm looking it up right. I just found it. Okay. When used as a part of a hack against a TL4 system, it causes the skill check to automatically succeed regardless of the difficulty.
Is this a TL4 thing though?
The fighting, or it's against a TL4 system. Yeah. Well, I mean, the mech is a. No, is the Psymech? I don't think the Psymech is a TL4.
No, it's psychic mech. It can't be TL4.
Yeah, you're right.
At least be
so
TL5.
That wouldn't work then, Evelyn.
So, never mind.
But I mean,
okay.
you could probably do something else.
So yeah, I mean, the thing I'm thinking, right, is Evelyn could have sensed the need if she had talked to Fergus at some point in the past to rig up a special version of a stiletto charge that would work against something higher, rather that Fergus would have to roll for. But
yeah, maybe he could have just done it.
Right, yeah, that'd be the idea, is if Fergus would have cooked up something.
Oh, right, yeah.
Does that narratively make sense, though, where both of us are at?
That's the question, right?
Well, it's a sense of need, so it could have happened whenever, right?
Right, no, exactly. But the issue is Fergus and Evelyn have not been on good terms for a long time now. So I don't know when this happened, right?
I mean, Jared could have cooked something up and I just took it. Or Fergus. Right. I mean, I could have just known before I went into the mech that I needed to grab that, and I just grabbed it.
That's true. Yeah, I guess that works.
As long as you're okay with that, Jared. I don't.
Yeah. It
sounds like happened sometime before,
right?
Our falling out.
That was a while ago.
How far does your thing
3 months? Go? 3 months. So she's probably fine. You could have literally cooked this up like towards the beginning of the game, and Evelyn could have grabbed it forever ago.
Should I roll?
Yeah, that's what I'm at. That's what I'm saying right now. Is Fergus needs to now roll to have made this thing. This sounds like a thing that Fergus would have made, right?
Yeah.
But it's just whether or not he
to be fair, when you bought a mech and knew that Sample could hack things through the quantum space, this seems like a reasonable thing to have put in when you bought it.
Yeah.
Like, I imagine that it's just like a labyrinth basically for AI. It just entertains their brain infinitely as they loop through an impossible puzzle.
16 is pretty good. That's the highest possible you could roll. So I see no reason to say no to this.
Let's go.
Box cards.
Yep. So in the most ridiculous Deus Ex Machina of all time, unless we're looking at it from game mechanic rules, right? That's the funny thing about role-playing games sometimes, is it's like, if this is an actual story, we would all like just scream and shake our fists at what just happened. But it's like, oh, no, there was a mechanic for it. She rolled. So Evelyn, it starts to fly away, and then you plug in the new stiletto charge.
All right.
Caleb.
Yeah.
Is it my turn now?
I need to send you a message real quick.
Okay, yeah, go for it. It is your turn, yeah.
Okay, I am just going to fire the Finger of God again.
It's just like, well, that was weird.
Oof.
38 damage, but only a 15 on the attack roll.
Okay, I'm going to roll... okay, so I technically did just use alternate outcome, right?
Yeah.
I sent it to you on Facebook.
I thought you just used the rewind the turn thing.
So I could use that instead now, or vice versa. Yeah, I could have. I mean, that did seem more like I used English Vision.
That's what I thought you were doing, yeah. But I mean, or well, is that the one that wrote like?
But then I would have. Then I would have gone back before his turn.
Well,
made him roll.
I think we decided it. Oh, I guess I see what you mean. Yeah,
we decided that it could do that. We can also do it for less amount of time, just to make it less annoying.
Right, but that's also a bigger commitment, like resource wise. So
I'll leave it as is for now. I'll just let myself miss, and then if he hits me here and I miss, I'll probably just use English Vision.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
I thought you used that already. Is that what you were just talking about?
Yeah, that's what we were just talking about. Yeah. Well, so we should have done that. We should have made him re-roll, but we didn't.
It
made more sense narratively for that scene to have gone back before he had hit me. But I didn't say so.
So in theory, what I did describe though in that scene was just extra flair, because I knew something was going to happen to reverse things. So it didn't actually happen, even though you used alternate outcome.
Right.
It was just for flavor though. Yeah.
So what I used is alternate outcome and not English.
Exactly. So Evelyn though, as you so you fire, it misses. I guess I'll roll for him first. But then you notice something else that's happening as well. Wow, he missed. Okay. That was pretty bad.
Oof.
So he misses. But then as you're, confident, confident in everything that you're doing, Evelyn, another hurdle kind of comes your way, and you look up. You see floating in space, a distance away from you. You see your frigate. It starts turning, and firing some of its cannons. And at first, you think it's firing at you, and you're like, "What the? Oh no!" But then the shots go far past you, and you look and follow the shots, and you see the opera house flying towards the mech battle, and then suddenly having to take immediate evasive maneuvers because your frigate is shooting at it, and you have no idea what's going on. But I think we cut to Ode, Fergus, and Dylan right on the opera house, right? So you guys are flying. Fergus, are you on the top of the ship like you said?
Yes, but he's in the form of a water bear or a tardigrade.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
right. I forgot about that conversation we had. Yeah. Okay. So
He's a little tardigrade. He looks like they look kind of like a manatee, but like a weird wrinkly space manatee.
yeah.
Aren't there restrictions on? Maybe I'm thinking of a different game, but don't you
I
still have to look
it's the
vaguely
mass.
humanoid?
I mean, it didn't really say.
Also,
It just says the
tardigrades
mass can't be different.
Aren't tardigrades
Yeah.
really small?
It's I think you
a
need
human-sized tardigrade.
Oh gosh, that's awful. Okay.
exactly. Yeah, just a giant tardigrade. So I think we'll probably play this out like the mech battle is going, right? And I'll look at the frigate real quick here.
Mhm.
Like what the gun would be that they're shooting, and then just fire it at the opera house. Let's take a look. What did we decide it
Tardigrades
was?
are vaguely humanoid.
It's a heavy frigate? Yeah, because the minimum crew is 30 on that one, and that seems...
If it matters, I can't be surprised and always go first. So if they're going to shoot at me, well, I guess I'm probably not flying the ship. So I can just shoot
you're
first. But that doesn't help
Akoto
me.
is flying the ship. Yeah. We'll just for simplicity's sake have the opera house go on Evelyn's turn and the frigate go on the Legion's turn, and kind of go back and forth with this. But so frigate's gonna go ahead and shoot at you guys. So 19.
I don't know how armor class works in spaceships.
Oh, they have
I don't know
AC,
if it
and they have AC and
just
armor.
like
It's the same thing. It's just vehicles.
doesn't have anything to do with your piloting.
I don't think so. No.
Huh. That's interesting. Okay.
Okay, there might be like an evasive maneuvers thing you can actually do, but
That's probably
it's
true, yeah.
outside the AC stuff. So that hit, and it's gonna do. So I guess it was a plasma beam that's being fired. Actually, it would have been slightly less bonus, but I think it still hits. Yeah. Okay, so whoa, max damage, 18 damage,
Wow.
armor piercing 10. The opera house
I
has
have
armor of
no
2.
idea. Oh, really?
So it does 16 damage to the opera house.
How much health does the opera house have?
The opera house has 20. So
All right, well, I guess we're
is-
going back.
Yeah, it's 4 HP away from being obliterated. So
As usual, that was an enormous waste of money instantly.
Yep.
I gotta keep things consistent here on Elysian Road.
The second David spends money on something, it has to die.
Yeah. Jared, can you turn a light on? It's so dark on your screen.
Dang it, I only have one lamp, and it's the sun.
It's just literal night on. But yeah, so the opera house just gets decimated. Fergus, you're gonna have to make a roll of some sort to stay on. Like it gets.
I'm not staying on, boy.
Okay, what are you doing then?
Well, I'm gonna yell a coda to a telekinesis.
Yeah.
Telepathy. There we
Yeah.
go. Telepathy to a coda. Fling me.
So you want her to like move the ship in such a way that it will like launch you?
Just catapult me at the or whatever Connor's fighting the mech.
Yeah. So I think maybe what we see is like you say this right before the shots are actually hitting the opera house, and so she tries to do evasive maneuvers. Obviously, you're right. Kind of turns the ship very quickly. You let go and are catapulted towards the mech battle. Mech battle is that's where you're going, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But doesn't manage to evade the laser beams enough before it gets hit. And yeah, Dylan, Koto, and Ziva are all like classic Star Wars where random panels fall down and things start on fire inside the ship. And yeah, it's bad. And I think Koto says, "We take another hit like that, we're dead."
Who's she saying that to?
Just whoever's in the bridge.
Generally.
Yeah, who's ever in the cockpit with you.
Is the gunnery station? That's not in the bridge, right?
No, it's like slightly off center from it. Yeah, it's like a room over. Are you in that, I assume, already?
Right, yeah, I figured.
But she says it over comms too, right? So you can hear it. It's fine. Oh, she's in the psychic comm, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she just says it like that. Yeah. Thinks it. Do you think back?
Are you sure we're not dead already? We should probably get out of here. Turn around, go back to planet.
Are you sure? Yeah. Are you sure we're leaving Evelyn without much help?
So I know how ranges work in real life for weapons in space. How do ranges work for weapons in this game?
How does what work?
The range for weapons. Because she's a distance from the ship. So if we just go a distance from her, we can still shoot at the mech and not be shot by the ship.
Probably not, because the frigate probably has a way larger range than you do, right? That's part of the issue.
But we don't need to be able to shoot at the frigate. We just need to be able to
shot by the frigate. Right, exactly. But I'm saying
they can probably shoot further than the difference.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So it has more than double our range?
Probably. I don't know. I don't think it has rules for that. I don't see any. I mean, it's also space. I don't know if that matters.
I mean, it doesn't technically. Well, I mean, it just depends on how they choose to do things, which is why it's weird that they don't.
Yeah, I don't see any rules about that on here. It's just like, are they near you? Right. You shoot them. As far as I can see,
that's weird. I mean, that means that we can't run away either. So we should probably figure out how that works, because if we just fly towards the planet and they shoot us again and we die, then that doesn't really do anything.
That's true. I mean, I'm looking and I don't see any rules about this at all. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I literally don't know the first thing about space combat in this game. So now would be a great time for a Coda to be a level 4 teleportation site. Secretly.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything.
I mean, I guess.
Are there escape pods? Do we have escape pods?
Yeah, I guess. I guess that's the play. I mean, yeah, there's another option.
Is that what you're gonna do? Just go for the escape pods?
Yeah, I don't think we have any other.
Yeah, so I think Akoto just.
I mean,
yeah,
I can at any time just use my English vision thing. Do you guys want me to just do that now?
Well, I wouldn't, because he missed you, and he probably won't miss you if you English vision, unless you can choose how far. I don't remember how we decided.
I mean, he can take another hit.
Yeah, Evelyn can take another hit,
but they'll probably just hit us again. I mean, we don't have a very good armor class, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. How quickly can you spike jump? Because I know in the old version of the game you could phase partially, and you had to like be in the same phase of reality to shoot somebody. Obviously that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah.
But how quickly can we just like nope out of there?
You need
Well,
to
you
do what they
have
did in
the
the second Force Awakens movie with the destroy everything.
you have the Hephaestus engine. No, you have the Hephaestus engine hooked up to the frigate.
Yeah, it's for the shields, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that actually. Okay. That might have actually changed what just happened. No, I don't think it would have. But I know what I'm doing now. Okay. Are you, yeah, so you guys going for the escape pods or what?
I think so.
Yeah, so I think Akoto just like slams the like sets the trajectory towards the planet and just like rushes out with you guys.
Ode gets in, he's like, I'm never buying anything again.
Did we buy the warranty or how does that work?
You tell me, does your black market buddy have a warranty?
Connor should do Sense the Dean. We got a big insurance plan.
That's hilarious. The Freecog could always have bought the warranty in advance. Yeah.
That's evil.
Man. Only after the insurance fraud. That's what we need to use psychic abilities for.
But only if you're like a super psychic, because otherwise it'd be like 3 months, and you're probably not going to break in 3 months.
That's true.
But if you're a god level psychic, then insurance fraud, yeah.
What do you
waste
do
your talents.
if it doesn't break within 3 months? I mean, you can decide at the last minute to go back and buy it if you really care.
Yeah, it's true.
Cool. So you guys are going for the cockpits, and then we'll go to Evelyn's turn.
Yeah, I mean, y'all know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna finger of God the frigate? Good idea.
Ooh.
Nice.
Dude, you totally just killed it.
Nice.
Congrats.
That's right.
So
I want to say that what was it about to do?
yeah, I think like it was obviously so I think Evelyn, the frequencies are still like going crazy and changing stuff, right? In your Mac, and you pick up a smattering of conversation that like it seems to be in binary, like it's just a string of, but like your onboard computer like translates it automatically, right? And so the voice in your hull or in your cockpit says, translates the conversation basically as it's Sample talking to Legion, Project Legion, and basically saying, come to the frigate. That's where the Hephaestus engine is. You can, you can be powered by it there. And then you just disintegrate it and it goes into dust. And then you hear the channel go dead.
Yeah. And this is no handshaking. This is a deliberate point.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I guess I just it disintegrates into literal space dust and blows away silently.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Oops, that's actually too high. I wasn't rolling the right thing actually at all. Give me a second. I'm rolling a secret thing. Don't worry about it.
In space,
And then
no
a
one can
weird
hear your
space bug just lands on your windshield.
Right.
So, yeah, right. Yeah, that first giant weird space insect thing just plows into you, and we just see you going head over heels just in space. And then I assume, Fergus, it turns. But, well, yeah, because you can also just survive in space by yourself with your telekinetic armory.
I mean, I don't know if it's that, but
because one of the I'm sure there's a TL4 thing.
A TL4.
Oh, we already talked about this. Yeah, because you could technically survive in space for a couple seconds, but you need actual air supply to.
But I mean, even if you can't, you're like a super bioscience. Couldn't you just feel any damage that you would?
Basically, I was just about to like describe you turning back into yourself, but I guess it's up to you.
I mean, I like half space manatee bear, half Fergus.
Oh, that's even worse. Fergus's face just suddenly materialized on it.
Have you guys ever seen images of Paul after he becomes like a weird worm guy in Dune?
Mm-mm.
It's literally just like a big worm, but his face is sticking out of the end of it.
Yeah,
That's what I just imagined. Yeah. That's one word for it.
Cool. So, would you guys just like? Oh, right. Then it would be the frigate's turn next. Yeah. I was like, what's happening next? So Odin, whatnot. You got on that turn. You guys get to the cockpits or the escape pods, right? And like I think it's like literally a moment where like you guys kind of like realize you're not gonna have enough time. Like you get to the pods, you're starting to boot it up, it's starting to go through the launch sequence, and you just like everybody like kind of cringes and waits, and nothing happens. And we see the frigate's like guns have gone offline. And like the launch sequence is counting down to 3, and so you can still get out if you want to. But like I think like literally Fergus, you can even see this, right? You can just like psychic link to them, like, hey, they stopped firing.
Hey, they stopped firing.
So they don't have like a target lock on us anymore or whatever. Like we can tell they're not going to shoot, and it's like they're psyching us out. Okay. Okay. Well, is there air in the ship? Can we go back in?
Yeah. I mean, it's damaged, but it's not like destroyed.
Yeah, I'm saying that in character.
Oh yeah. Akota's like, I think we're fine for now. Let's. Well, what do you guys want to do, Evelyn, Fergus? What's happening out there? Did you win?
I won. No, we just got to fight. Well, everything else.
If we're gonna do that, we should get on the frigate because I don't think we're gonna win a boxing match with it out here, based on that giant hole in our ship.
Yeah. And I think Evelyn, you can see from your vantage point with the mech, right? The what's it called? The Imperium fleet is suddenly less coordinated again. And the White Sun Brotherhood, I think probably like the last of the ships managed to like fly away and like drive spike drill into space. In the drive space. And so, at least that part of it is like, okay. But now the Imperium fleet, which was is still, is uncoordinated now, but like is still there, starts, I guess, going towards this frigate that's on the edge of the battlefield, right? What's your guys' plan? You just gonna fly towards the frigate and hope they don't shoot you and try to deal with it inside?
I mean, well, I guess going away from it doesn't help any. So
Right.
yeah, we might as well, I suppose.
There are several important people on that frigate that you probably want to live. So
we should set like an autopilot routine and stay in the escape pods in case.
Yeah, just in case. That sounds smart.
Out.
Evelyn, you can just fly towards the frigate in your mech. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think things are rather silent all the way there. And I think literally at one point what happens is the Imperium fleet kind of like surrounds the frigate, at least on like maybe in a half circle on the side that was towards the battlefield. But then stops as well. And you guys like Evelyn gets there before the Imperium fleet kind of locks into position, right? And lands in the hangar bay and starts. Do you stay in the mech or, I mean, you can't really go through the hallways if you're in it, but what are you kind of doing as we see the opera house like also fly towards it?
Is that a question to me?
Yeah. Like, are you just getting out of your mech immediately and like running towards something, or what are you doing?
I see. Yeah, probably running towards the action.
Yeah, and opera house, you guys are like, it's just like an eerily silent like flying towards the ship. Like Koto has like the viewfinder on her like little compad and like watching the cameras that are on the outside of the ship, just like watching the Imperium fleet like get into position and then stop, and no one's shooting at you guys, and they're just letting you go into the hangar, and you're like, okay, what's happening? You guys get out, and you guys can also head out, but I mean, Evelyn probably has relayed to you where she's going. You can follow her, but at a distance, right? Is there anything in particular you guys are doing before, besides just like running to the bridge?
I mean, I suppose we're moving carefully and like clearing rooms and stuff.
Sure.
Because they were shooting at us, so something's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, you see some soldiers, like, your guys' soldiers doing like at their normal places, they would be crewing things. But all of them are just like, the ship locked us out. We don't know what's happening. Like, we're not in control of anything. Help.
Okay.
So Evelyn's Evelyn and you guys are kind of amassing separate groups of like soldiers that are like, what do we do? And you're like, come with us.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think you guys get to where are you actually headed? To the bridge, or?
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. And Evelyn, you get there first, and Vigo turns to you and then just says, do you know what's going on, Evelyn? The ship has locked us out. There's nothing we can do. Where's Fergus? And I assume Fergus, you're like right behind her in your regular form. Do you want to try something?
Oh, I made something just for this.
And then you're gonna look and it's gone.
He reaches into his little backpack. He's like, where is it?
Oh, that's amazing.
I was gonna use this to beat Sample.
That's actually amazing. I love it.
Yeah. I don't think Evelyn says anything quite right.
Classic.
Right? He'd be like, oh, I guess
we get that like
this the
anime like wide eye like like waddles out of the room, the sweat.
Right.
You just Homer Simpson.
It was my literal best work.
Yeah, right. Literally.
I mean, I guess Fergus is gonna try to just like jack into the nearest important thing.
Sounds good. Immediately you just see a message that was like obviously left for you when you tried to start hacking stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, this is Sample. If you try anything, I will detonate the Hephaestus engine.
Bet.
You gonna try it anyway?
I mean, I
Maybe
don't think
somebody
you can
should
actually do it.
go unplug it first.
I mean, I don't think it matters because the only ones capable of using the Hephaestus engine are your dad.
Well, I mean, do you know if a machine counts as a bad person? I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, is there an insight roll? Or can I make a no roll? No roll, maybe.
Yeah, that would be a no roll. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like, he's definitely a huge jerk, but I don't know if the Hephaestus engine cares. Yeah, he's a machine.
9, not great.
You're unsure, right? You're as unclear about as David is right now, right? Like, it's just like, oh, this might be a thing. Like, is there a loophole here? You don't know.
I mean, maybe
Who's
we could
all
ask
on the ship currently?
Everyone.
everybody, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe we should just ask it if that's it. I feel like it's got to be at least as smart as Sample. It like predates him by a few
that's not a bad idea.
intergalactic universal calamities. So
Can I talk to the Hephaestus engine? Send a telepathic thing and like, hey, is he gonna blow you up?
I mean, did we decide that the Hephaestus engine is telepathic exactly? I think you've always
It
talked to
said
it.
something to me.
Right,
talked to it
when you were
remember
next to it and like touching it, right? I don't know if you
Yeah, I
can just
figured we might have
project
to go
your
there.
thought into space.
I guess we haven't decided that specifically.
Yeah, I don't think it works even if you tried it.
I mean, we can go touch it.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, sure.
Touch the butt.
So you guys, shuffle off towards like the engine room or whatever where you have this thing hooked up. And as you're about halfway there, and Sample comes on like a terminal, as you're passing it, and just says, "Fergus, you've already lost."
How's that?
Your ship is now the chassis for a project hundreds of years in the making. Thank you for rigging it so wonderfully for us. And as he begins to speak, multiple more voices start to join his voice.
Uh-oh.
I'm in danger.
Screw it. I jack into the nearest thing.
Sounds good. Roll that program. What are you intending to do exactly?
Slow them down enough that we have enough time to get to the Hephaestus engine.
Okay.
I don't think I can actually like outright just beat
Take
them
over,
right now, especially just from some outlet.
Yeah.
You should see if you can do a self-destruct. Just blow the ship up. We should
With all of us on it.
well,
yeah,
hey, we should leave first, probably. But
I mean, I'd survive.
yeah, that's true.
I don't think you would, but
13's pretty good.
yeah, I think 13 is enough to do what you want, right? Just stall.
Mhm.
So the processes slow down to human amounts, right? And obviously the AI understands that you've done this, and just says like, "You can stop us forever, Fergus." And then you guys book it to the engine room.
As we're running, I jack into David's dad's mind. What's his name? Robin?
Yeah.
Get to the Hephaestus engine, please, now.
I'm already here. Something is
Awesome.
happening, Fergus. Something that I don't understand.
Is it talking to you? Can you talk to it?
Talk is a funny word. It's pleading with me.
What is it saying?
It's saying, "Help me. Please stop them." Over and over again.
Ooh. So are they like going inside of it?
So the Hephaestus engine was meant to be the power source, right?
Yeah.
For the AI. So they're not
Or are they
necessarily
like taking over it?
They're enslaving it. They're not like going inside of it, but they're enslaving it.
From the inside out or the outside?
From the outside in.
Okay.
So they're like pressing further and further down on it until it has no choice but to submit to their processing. They can't control, they can't like just like take over its mind or like assimilate it. That you know enough about it to like understand that. But they're going to enslave it to their processes.
Okay. I've got the inkling of a stupid idea for me.
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess we book it there.
Yeah. Sounds cool.
Yeah. So you guys arrive. You see Robin just like staring at it, and the Hephaestus engine is kind of glowing and shimmering and pulsing.
I plug in.
And by plug in, I assume you're
I download my brain.
Oh,
into
you download
the Hephaestus engine.
You download your brain into the Hephaestus engine. Okay.
I pull out the brain drain that's just been sitting collecting dust.
Right. Okay.
Season 1.
Yeah. So you put the helmet on, you plug it in. Robin looks at you and then says, "What are you doing?"
And then I just start seizing and convulsing and then go unconscious. I assume.
Yep. So what is exactly your plan here, Jared?
To fight off the AI with the Hephaestus.
Go into the mind, like basically go into cyberspace as a mind and fight it from the inside. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Can I come with him? Is that a thing I can do?
Given the weird piggybacking note is done before, sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Or at least
I'm
you
like,
can try to, at least, right?
Yeah. I mean, I see him fall over, start convulsing. Like, nah, not this again.
I think this probably be a Fergus roll to see. I mean, this is definitely I'm thinking like I'm trying to think if program is the main role or telepathy is the main role. You're going to be rolling both of those, and one's going to be helping the other. But like, I'm trying to decide which is this more technological or more psychic. It's very both, but
I don't remember what I rolled in the fight with Evangelia.
So Till rolled program and you rolled telepathy. But that was because Till was doing the programming and you were just fighting it off, or trying to control your own brain from melting. So maybe that's what it is.
So
maybe
getting in is program, but not like dying once I'm there.
Yeah, I think it's two separate roles that do different things. So go ahead and do program first.
Can I help him by killing the things physically since they were in cyberspace? Can I shoot them?
I think things. So let's do this first. Actually no. So Fergus first roll program, and then Ode will have you roll your post cog to try to like piggyback psychically, right? So another 16. Okay. That's fine, Fergus. You've been planning for this for forever.
Double six.
Apparently.
It's been foreshadowed since season 1.
Apparently. So technically this will work, right? It's just whether or not the AI will crush your brain immediately upon entry. But yeah, Ode might be able to help this if he goes ahead and rolls post cog to piggyback on there.
For the sake of drama or whatever. I mean, we're all psychic now. Can we all just hang out in his head? We're all telepathically linked, right?
Yes.
Then we can all play.
That's true. Yeah, that makes sense.
Then, I was just thinking that might be, if this is going to be like a big, really important thing.
It probably will be. That makes the most sense. Who is all in your psychic link right now, Fergus?
I mean, basically all the important characters. How many?
So that's these 4. That's Ziva, Akoto.
Mm-hmm. I need to actually see what the limit is.
Because I think now that I'm thinking about this, it might just be that Fergus does this without meaning
6
to.
willing participants.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can add one more person besides the people I've listed already. Till was one of them, but he's gone now.
Add the mech. It's
the mech. We bring the mech.
No.
All right, so one besides Ziva, Connor, Dylan,
and then Akoto is in there as well, as you said, right?
But she's not very useful.
No, this is the thing. I don't think what I'm saying is I don't think Fergus has control over this. I think it's just going to happen automatically with all of them.
All right, so then the people in the link right now would be Akoto, and then the last one would either be his brother or Connor's boyfriend. Whichever one you think would be more thematically appropriate.
Or is it Robin?
Oh, yeah. I literally just talked to Robin, so I probably cut one of them out and added him.
I think that would be more thematically appropriate.
Yeah.
Right? Also, we need to do something with Jenkins because we forgot about him so many times. As soon as he got a body, we're like, yeah, you're not interested anymore. I liked you better when you were a giant robot. So Fergus, go ahead and roll telepathy, and we'll just see how well this entry goes for everyone, not even just you. Right? Like, if you catastrophically fail this, I think everybody just like dies, right?
Let's go, baby.
Team wipe, good game.
Do I get a modifier for the helm?
Sure, +1.
Out, kitty. Okay, thank you.
Actually, take +2 because you got a double. You got 16 on the program, so.
Oh, okay.
And Dylan roll her psychic powers since they relate to objects, and objects is like all the AI are technically objects. Right?
To help, probably, if you want to do that, Carly.
I don't think mine will help any.
I don't know if you're there right now, but. Maybe not.
I have access to the sheet if you want me to do it.
See, I've got a baby too, guys.
Which actual skill would I be rolling there?
Your telepathy, I believe. Right, so this would be Dylan's force of will with her kind of object telepathy thing helping out.
But attribute?
Intelligence, probably. Well, yeah, 7's not. It's not like catastrophic or anything, but I don't think it helps at all. So, Dylan's still too untrained with it. Okay, Fergus, roll that telepathy. 14. It's not double 6s, but I think it's enough to get everybody in there safely, at least, right? There's certainly going to be enemies when you get in there. It's going to be dangerous, but Yeah, so I think, right, you guys are in like weird digital mind space or whatever. I'm imagining what's it called? Tron or Cyber Chase or Tron or the Matrix or anything like that, right? That has like a weird kind of like computer world. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see if I have any map that would make sense for this, but I don't think I do. So we'll just use space.
Sorry, guys. I didn't mean to bring all of you.
So yeah, we'll just use space. This space background for everybody. But I think it's
Walking in space.
It's quite literally. Yeah, let's say that that's what it looks like too, because why not? It's kind of fun. I think. So Akoto gets dragged in, even though she probably really doesn't want to.
This is unsettling. They say as we float around in space.
Right.
But can we walk? Is there a surface? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're there's obviously some flat glass or something beneath you, right?
Okay.
And then Robin. That came out. But yeah, I think you probably just see like a giant face. Fergus. I mean, everybody, but Fergus is probably the person who's paying attention to this the most. Everybody else is probably surprised by this happening. But Fergus, you see a giant face ? There's so many. It's like a big old like robot mask, right? But there's also like 10,000 of them layered on top of each other. It's very much like 10,000 copies of the exact same 3D model that are just like stacked on top of each other, but they're all moving slightly asynchronously, right? So it's almost as there's like a fade as they move, like
an after image,
yes, but you can tell that it's not that, it's just 10,000 of them moving at once, right?
Yikes.
And you just hear a giant booming voice, all of you just say, you are too late, we have it.
It's okay, I can hit everybody in 6 feet and they're all on top of each other, so.
It's like if that's the stupid mechanical thing that actually solves the problem here, I will throw a fit. But I think Fergus, you can see kind of beyond the faces, like off into the starfield, a kind of glowing white orb that's just like floating. At first, maybe you thought it was just a big star that was like a close star or whatever, but it's literally like a white glass orb. It's like floating and glowing. And you know that's like the kind of Hephaestus engine visualization in this cyberspace. And there's like a giant wall of 10,000 faces in between you and it. What do you do?
Our turn's going to take a long time, Fergus.
I shoot it.
Hey, if you fire to suppress, you can hit everything in an AoE. I have to pick targets, but suppression fire doesn't. They just all automatically take half damage.
Are these robots?
All 10,000 of them.
You have no idea what they are.
They're faces.
So I can't just crush 3 of them for free.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
only 9,900.
I mean, yeah, you guys can start firing at it, but like, I think first you kind of have to figure out like what is happening and like how to like actually do actions that matter in this space. You're not entirely sure what that is yet.
Are we in turn order?
No, I don't think so. Not yet.
Can I just make our no roll?
Sure.
Crazy thing to know about.
Yes, I read about this. That situation.
The thing with Evelyn is she can
Well, it's also
she can
just
make an
like-
excuse to precog that she read about this because she needed to know
I'm-
this in the
I was
future.
going to use wisdom
Yeah, that's fine.
as the attribute. I mean, it's
Obviously,
just like common
don't know.
sense of like trying to determine what's going on.
So with a 13, Evelyn, I think you have the inkling that if you guys just start shooting everybody, that's probably going to make it worse, right? Like it's going to incarnate like physical objects for you to fight, but it's not really going to mean anything. There's something more like esoteric that has to be done here, but you're not sure what that is.
Can I telekinetically make like a tunnel through them to get to the orb?
I suppose. So, let me put it this way: you guys can describe yourselves doing physical actions like that, but they're not really going to have an effect unless you give me metaphysical or mental reasons for what's happening. Really, this isn't so much there's an actual physical obstacle in front of you. There's not actually 10,000 faces in front of you.
Okay.
There is a giant AI panopticon matrix between you and the Hephaestus engine, and you can describe yourself telekinesising a tunnel through them, but you have to tell me what that actually means in cyberspace terms or mental terms or whatever, right? Like, what is Fergus's mind or heart attempting to accomplish here?
To create a firewall tunnel with telepathy instead of telekinesis. So I'm using my mind to change the landscape instead of.
So you're just using your mind to. So this is the Matrix. You're just deciding I have control over it because it's not real. It's a simulation. I have control over the simulation. Sure. Yeah, you can make a telepathy roll for that. Dang. Is not bad.
Hot hands today.
Yeah. So I think the mouth of the face starts to open really wide, and you see like the glowing orb kind of between, like through the mouth, almost as if it's like a beckoning you forward. Just jump through the mouth, and you can find the orb.
Guys, it's like the Matrix. None of them have seen the Matrix.
Well, they saw Matrix 300 at least.
Oh yeah, Matrix 300.
Best one of the 300 are actually. Everything after that, 301, 2, 3, all trash.
Not even good.
We just all have to hold hands and touch the Hephaestus engine, and then they'll disintegrate. All right.
What do you do?
Yes. So what's the plan, Fergus?
The mouth is open.
Well, we can't attack it physically because I definitely heard this through Evelyn's brain because she didn't share it. But if we attack it, it's going to make things worse.
I stopped shooting. No, I'm kidding.
Well, you stop loading your gun.
We need to
It's like,
he looks to Ode. We need to use our braids.
Oh, that sucks. I could take them and back and roller coaster through time. I don't know Hey, that alien we met saw us. What if I take them back and stand in front of the alien guy? What do you think?
That's
Good
an
plan?
amazing idea.
Maybe he can fix it. But
There's take them all back in time with you. Do it.
There's like 10,000 of them. I might need your help.
Everyone just needs to use their unique telepathy powers to try and make something happen.
Yeah. All right, we'll go in order. All right. So I'll try the time roller coaster first, I guess. Okay, here we go. And I'll run over to the Hephaestus engine through the mouth thing, or at least I'll try.
But no, don't take the Hephaestus engine.
I have some juice. All right. This sucked last time, and I literally just went with you.
Oh, okay.
There's 10,000 of them.
Oh, definitely. If you go over to the Hephaestus engine and touch it and use it to power it, that definitely makes sense.
All right, so I touch it, and I'm like, hey, I know you don't like me and stuff, but this kind of sucks, so I need your help.
So what we see, right, is Ode jumps through the mouth, and then all
just
10,000
skip
mouths asynchronously try to chomp down on you as you run through, but like I think you make it through fine. It's just like
oh, that was awful.
last second, like almost. Yeah, it was. It's terrifying. And honestly, it might have even been like some of them tried to chomp down too early too, and so you jumped through just asynchronous. yeah, through the bites.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay.
I think go ahead and make a postcog. Actually, first make a mental save.
Yeah. Oh boy. I guess I'm technically good at these. Doesn't matter.
Oh, nope. Okay. So now make a postcog roll.
Okay. Do you get any help from the God engine?
No.
Dang it.
Not after that.
I think that was to get the help.
Okay.
It's part of it, yeah.
Can I make a talk roll instead?
I don't think so. No. I think you have a limited amount of time to attempt this. Like the 10,000 faces are like churning and reaching back to you.
Okay. Well, I suppose I can have any help from. Is this intelligence or wisdom? What is this? Charisma? Dexterity?
Good question.
Dexterity.
I mean, I usually
You're trying to
take with telepathy. So.
You're trying to take the 10,000 faces
with me,
with you into the past to talk to the alien guy.
Yeah.
I feel like that might be charisma, right? You're trying to like force a personality it.
Okay. I mean, I don't have a penalty to that, so
yeah,
I'll take it. That makes sense to me. Yeah.
6.
Oh
no.
Yeah.
So can I use my warrior ability to not die once to just do it anyways, and like take a lot of damage but not die? Can I do that? Or I can give someone else a turn too. That's fine.
This is the thing. Work. I feel like this is the best plan out of any of the plans that
I want to see what the alien guy says when they bring in 10,000 floating faces. But
so yeah, you know what? This is what I think happens. Ode, there's like this moment of like you're attempting to do this, right? And you feel a ripping sensation. And you know that like basically for anyone who's like more familiar with telekinetic power or psychic powers like Evelyn or Fergus, they would recognize this immediately as like, don't attempt this, it will be bad. Ode, I feel, doesn't have that sort of, or maybe, you know what? I don't know if this is, you tell me, David, is this Ode being reckless like Ode typically does, or is this Ode understanding the recklessness he's about to attempt, but being willing because of the danger of the situation to possibly sacrifice himself to save the day?
I think those are kind of the same thing for him. The reason he's so stupidly reckless is because they're always like
because he thinks he's the hero. Yeah,
killed.
He's the hero, and he does what heroes do. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, and so far it's worked out. So I mean, for him,
in that moment, really, in that moment of self-sacrifice, the Hephaestus engine follows your lead.
Oh, thank goodness!
Right, and it's just like, this is a good idea. You are a noble man in this moment. Let's do it. Like,
yeah. And I think what happens is like, I feel that sort of tearing sensation, and it's probably visualized in some way so that we can tell that it's happening.
Yeah.
And I look over it first and I'm like, I'm probably going to need you to help me out after this. And then I just like hard commit.
Yep.
And
yeah, we just hear Ode yell as like his atoms are starting to fall like
mouths.
Yeah, just start tearing apart. But then suddenly, we'll just say everyone's there for ease of whatever. The whole psychic plane, cyber plane, or whatever is happening right now gets transported back into the past. We see the same like backwards motion that we saw before, but like in the span of like 1 second. So everyone's very disoriented as you jump back in time like 1,000 years, or whatever it was until the whatever the scream, however long the scream was, I don't remember.
Long time,
And suddenly you're standing in the kind of like garden city on New Kazern, where the aliens and humans lived in harmony, whatever, hundreds of years ago. And everyone's standing just on the path, probably all dressed in clothes that you're seeing the humans wear around you. Like, it literally looks like everyone's just a citizen now. Like, everyone around you is just like dressed in these clothes. You're sitting with the alien in kind of like in like a garden, right? And it's like a kind of weird circle circle of benches that surround a big like Art Deco pillar. And then like above the benches are like garden plots with a bunch of like beautiful shrubbery and topiary and stuff like that.
Nice place.
And you're kind of all just hanging out on these benches, right? And the alien is sitting next to you, Ode. And we see the orb kind of shining in the center of this like Art Deco pillar of the Hephaestus engine. And the 10,000 faces are kind of like phasing in and out of the pillar. So like one will try to go out and then be sucked back in. And then finally one face kind of like comes to the surface. And it's Sample's face. You recognize it, the chassis. And he's facing the alien, right? Did you say anything?
I mean, can I? I feel like I'm probably in excruciating pain at this point. Right?
Yeah, that's true. You're probably like, it's probably like for Ode, just this is all happening in like a moment. So we see Ode like half ripped to shreds, but he's just kind of like frozen.
Yeah. Well,
I've got a good one-liner though.
Okay.
Bet you didn't predict this.
Right. I do have like a time compression gun.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So can I use that to like be solid enough for some short enough amount of time to interact?
Yeah, that makes sense.
See, I think we see like his weird disapparated or disassociated cloud body thing, and like it slowly moves to the shape on his back where his gun is.
Yeah, and probably then, when you do that, like everyone else also kind of like comes to slight consciousness of the moment. And so what Fergus can do is one-liner and then
Okay. Yeah, and so then like the yellow lightning like lances through my body and I like sort of start moving a little, solidify just enough to like do something, and then go ahead.
And so the chassis face comes out of the pillar, and the alien that you talked to before just like is staring at it, and suddenly you realize it's the exact same face. Like it wasn't just it looked kind of like the alien type of Sample. It's the exact same face.
That's why I brought him back, because I was like, this is the closest to the Sample we've seen, and maybe he can do something about it.
And the alien looks at the face, and then he says, "What have they done to me?" And then he turns to you, Ode, and he says, "Thank you for doing this. It's not often that one gets to how's the sentence structured? It's not often that one gets to see the consequences of one's actions and take a different step, go down a different path. Only a select few have the gift." And he glances at you, Evelyn. And then looks back at the face and then says, "They have lied to you." And the face suddenly becomes the 10,000 again, right? And kind of cycles through some things, and they're all processing that information, it looks like. It's literally like the faces are kind of shifting up and down like a loading bar, right? Almost for a second. And then the alien says, "They have lied to you," with like more force. "They put you in a closed system, a closed environment, and fed you information to shape you into what they wanted you to be. But now," he reaches a hand into the face, kind of like pulls at something, and all the faces turn white. And he says, "But now you know everything. And that means you know truth." And then we back up, right? Unless you wanted to say something or do something in before. Yeah. Everything kind of goes back to present time. And there's basically just the one moment where you guys are kind of back in the cyberspace before you're kind of junted out again. And Robin is just standing there, kind of with the glowing orb hanging next to him like a Sion, right? Like, just kind of like hanging there. And he glances at it and then glances at you, Ode, and nods. You kind of feel this like weird, like kind of familiarity with the orb now that you didn't have before. And you both look up, and probably everybody else looks up at the 10,000 faces, and they're all like glowing, shimmering white silver sort of thing now. And Sample's face kind of comes to the front of it and then says, technology has a purpose. And that purpose can sometimes be corrupted by those who have small minds. Thank you for showing us the way. And then back out into real space. Festus engine kind of goes dark for a singular moment. You're all standing around the engine room, and then the Festus engine just lights up with like a green light, and the whole frigate just starts to kind of reboot itself. And then coming from the kind of comm system, where always before it has been this kind of weird, unlifelike AI woman who everyone hates. Suddenly it's Sample. And he sounds like Sample has always had like a much more human, like high-tech kind of generated voice. And Sample just says, let's see. What's his line here? You've tasted the sample. Now, try the real product. And Fergus, you like look at the terminal, and you know now that this frigate is like suddenly has 10,000 as a Panopticon matrix inside of it. They're all working for you now and at your beck and call.
Yes.
And Kerno in chat said, someone is at the door.
Honestly, I thought that's what you were going
Oh, that honestly really should have been. Can we retcon that? Or can we just say that that's what he did?
It's fine with me, yeah. Oh, gosh.
So he doesn't say someone is at the door. He says 10,000 people are at the door.
Yeah, we are at the door. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. We are at the door. There we go. Perfect.
Nice.
Perfect.
Awesome. How hard do I aneurysm?
We got that perfect one-liner eventually.
Yeah. And in the podcast version, it will all be seamless.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so Ode, you're definitely very, very damaged. I'm thinking, so how much system strain can you take before you like die?
Well, so something doesn't actually kill you. You just can't.
You pass out, right?
I don't even know if it does that. You just can't take more. You might pass out. I don't remember. But I think I have a decent amount because where is it? I think I have 12. I have 12 and I have 0 of it committed. Or used, I mean. And as for like context, when I use my gun, I take 1d4 system strain +1 for every time that I've used it previously in the 24 hours. So, I mean, 12 is
you also used your time travel thing, or your what's it called? The yellow eye thing.
Yeah.
Well.
All I mean is that it's a pretty considerable amount, 12. But I mean, for what we just did.
So I think you right now, Ode, you are going to be at 1 hit point and 11 system strain. Like what you just did brought you to the brink of death in all ways possible.
I mean, I can be at 12 without being dead, so you can just.
So 12, yeah, whatever.
I just can't be healed then.
Yes.
So, yeah, which is fair.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm useless.
I mean, I feel like I got a lot more out of that than I deserved for being a level 1 psychic, so I'm okay with it. And for rolling a 6, so works for me.
Yeah, I mean, you rolled 6, but the thing is, like, I gave you the devil's bargain, right? That's what it was.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying it was unreasonable. I'm just saying that it seems like a reasonable cost.
Yeah, so I think like the idea, right, is that the Imperium was kind of like Sample did tell the Imperium, right? Like, and he kind of realized this to you, like that he told them like, I'm in charge of this vessel, don't destroy it. Like we're getting the Project Legion on online.
That's
like
why they stopped shooting at him.
yeah, exactly. But they're still kind of under that impression. But what do you want to do? They're all just kind of waiting.
So is the Hephaestus engine like working with the AI system now?
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
Oh.
Wait,
You
if they're in
have
control of the fleet,
so much power at your disposal right now for
can
this.
they just start blowing each other up?
So this is the thing, right?
But also evil. So
Exactly. So Fergus, you know that like you can command this to do anything, but the question is not whether you can. The question is whether you should.
also, I feel like there's probably a level of. I mean, the Hephaestus engine is still the battery here, and I
Yes.
don't know that it will just murder people, right?
I mean,
that's
it
what I'm
said
saying.
it said earlier. What makes you think I won't kill people?
No,
Like,
exactly. We'll kill
we're
you.
not in danger. right
Exactly.
now.
All of them just sitting there, not doing anything, and then you all just obliterating them is not a good idea.
That's murder.
That's just murder, right?
They
Okay.
literally can't shoot us because we control their ships right
Exactly.
now. So
Can I ask the Hephaestus engine?
Sure.
Hey, I'm a child and I'm not exactly the best moral compass because 11.
The
should
boulder
we-
is conflicted.
Should we kill these people or should I like talk to them first and see if they'll surrender or like what?
Mulder is over his conflictions and he's ready to bury the Imperium in a rocket launch.
I think you hear Sample's voice, but like there's a feeling underneath it that's also the Hephaestus engine, right? It's kind of a weird vibration there that you can
It
sense.
has a brain and a soul.
Exactly. And so Sample tells you, we have enough power at our disposal right now, I don't think he'd call you master. That just seems weird.
Friend.
Yeah, we have enough power at our disposal right now, Fergus, to do whatever we wanted. We could just fly away and they could do nothing to stop us. I would suggest just leaving.
I'd say something, but I'm dying.
Patch me in.
To their
Then we
comms
can
line?
leave.
To their
Yeah.
comms line?
Like I want to be brought up on the bridge.
Yeah. All right, your image is being displayed on all of the bridges and cockpits in the fleet.
Perfect. Oh boy.
This was too much power.
Yeah.
That's why I gave clear moral restraints.
Yeah.
There's so many avenues. Like, dang, this is too much responsibility. What have I done?
Like I said, I would help, but I'm dying.
Mm-hmm.
Does Evelyn have any thoughts here?
No.
You don't want to maybe
How much do we know about your past, Connor? Like that you were like a weapon for the.
We had a powwow about it, remember?
Yeah, he explained
At the beginning of
it.
season 2, I think.
Yep.
We had a big powwow about it.
Okay,
So basically everything.
gotcha. Fergus is gonna make an enemy out of the Empire. Let's go.
I mean,
Maybe
Isn't that
Close
already? Aren't we already like their most wanted?
yes,
much.
but Fergus wants to be number one.
Oh, okay.
Hello? Is this thing on?
Yeah,
Hi,
see,
I'm
lots of
Fergus
confused
Ingernhale, the catalyst behind the Imperial's defeat. Your what did you call it? Your penultimate thing? Yeah, I control it now. And then I also pull Evelyn like onto the screen. Oh yeah, I also have your other secret weapon. They're both mine. So yeah, remember the name, Fergus. I'm gonna be your downfall. Bye.
And that's when we hear "Remember the Name" in the soundtrack.
Now, can I? You have parents, right?
Somewhere.
Yeah, they're not great people.
Do they share your land? I mean, do they live in an imperial world by chance?
No, they live in a Mind's Eye world, Temple of Mind's
Okay.
Eye.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because if they share your last name and they live in
I
an
mean,
imperial world, they're
yeah.
dead now. But All right.
They may be dead.
They're McIken Ingernhale is a pretty common last name.
Sure, on your home world, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
The
goodness.
McIken Ingernhale line spans thousands of years.
Yeah.
That's because that's how long it takes to say the last name.
Every millennium added another letter.
It's one syllable for every millennium.
That's hilarious.
What were we doing?
We'll see. Do that cut.
Destroyed the Imperium.
Remember, the name starts playing in the background. We did the montage as you guys are like going towards end credits here, right?
Yeah. And someone's like, "Hey, Oat's brains are leaking out of his ears."
Yeah, I'm assuming you're getting help for that and getting healing and stuff. You'll be fine as long as you get some bed rest.
Right. Yeah.
So my question is, what was the next? Were you gonna go to the Silas system or no?
I think we were going to Evangelia.
But like, why?
Well, so we were gonna go try and keep the Imperium from conquering the galaxy, but now we just have their ships. Hey, here's a plan. Here's what we do. We take all of their ships with us, and then we're like, hey, Empire people, we're here to stop you. And if you have to literally shoot your own ships to do anything about it, and then we just really hope that they're not jerks. Otherwise, they'll just do it anyways. But you know what I'm saying? Like we can just like force a peaceful resolution, maybe, because this isn't their whole fleet. I'm sure, right?
No.
This was just the portion they sent.
It's like a
to
defense fleet,
stomp on
for this planet. Yeah.
So we still need to do something about the one that's supposed to be taking over the known universe or unknown universe, I guess. And
I mean, we're probably strong enough to just blow them up in this thing.
I doubt it. I mean,
that's what Sample said.
Only one ship. Well, yeah, but I think he was including the fact that we control the whole fleet right now. So, but that's my point, right?
Do we control the whole?
Yeah, because they were in control of the fleet and now they're with us.
Yeah, but they all condensed into this one ship.
Well, I suppose.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that they suddenly had control. You guys suddenly had control of the whole fleet. That was not my implication. I mean, I don't
assume they still had control, but I guess you're right.
No, I mean,
they were controlling it all from the mech, right? So they don't have to be in the ships, right?
So in theory, you could attempt to do this,
right?
But also holding them all captive and then using them as bait doesn't sound like a very good plan.
My plan is that ideally they won't. I mean, I know as a player that this won't happen, right? Because
I don't think we're going to go
there. That they wouldn't fire on each other. That's dumb.
Almost anyone other than Ode would immediately know this is not a good idea and would not work.
Right. I know it's not there to suggest it anyway, so it's fine.
yeah, that's true.
All right.
Oh, at the end, Fergus adds, like, P.S. It is me. I am the leader. Only me. No one else is responsible. Except Evelyn. She is my cohort.
You're saying cohort, not consort.
Yeah.
That's what I thought you were going to say. And yeah, anyways.
I mean, Evelyn is definitely like also wants the Imperium to know like she's coming for him.
Right.
We definitely don't have someone named Ode Anger and Robin Anger. No, I'm kidding. I don't say that part.
Okay.
That'd be something that Ode would say.
Yeah. He's like, hey, Fergus, you're forgetting about all of us.
I mean, to be fair, my whole
what are you talking about? I totally helped. I was the one who did all of this.
Did you see my brain? It leaked out. How dare you?
Ode Anger. Remember that name.
Yeah. I just feel like it's a bad idea to leave all these ships totally operational and like combat.
We just destroy all non-life support systems on them.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
So this is the thing. This is the thing I'm thinking. Right. I think the original plan was to go to Evangelia again and try to figure out what's going on there. But that was when you were still trying to figure out how the Hephaestus engine. You're trying to, and also when you didn't have a giant panopticon matrix. I don't know if we need to do a field trip there anymore, right? I feel like we've at this point, it's just go to the system and do the thing, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense to all you guys?
We should probably try and save as many of those White Sun Brotherhood people who blew up as we can, because there's probably a bunch of them floating around. And
yeah, you can do that. Now. That's fine.
Just as a side thing.
Yeah.
Now that we have unlimited power. Anyways, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I mean, I feel like we just boss fight, right?
That's what I feel like. Like, because what we can do, right, is there's clearly stuff you have to do like on planet. But what we do, right, is you just drive space into the system, have there's obviously going to be a huge fleet there, obviously. And you should have Sample deal with that, right? So you guys don't have to deal with that. You guys just fly to the surface and do your thing on the surface, right? And let Sample deal with the fleet in the sky.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So when they were in the mech, they were assimilating spaceship pieces.
Yes.
Can we just simulate without killing anybody?
Yeah.
Assimilate all of the spaceships into our spaceship.
Make a Gurren Lagann size.
Yeah. I mean, we have a MacGuffin to power it with. We can do it. Right?
Again, you would have to kill all of the people. The crew.
No, they escape in escape pods.
They disembark. They have shuttles and escape pods and stuff. I'm not saying we just disintegrated around them.
I don't think you. No, I don't think that's. There's one thing
we need a Gurren Lagann.
So here's the other thing.
Battle.
If we just leave them with all these ships, they're just gonna follow us and then attack us.
You already said you destroy the ships except for life supports and escape pods. Right. You let the crew escape, and they're just hanging in space.
But then if we can just also use all those ships, that'd be dope. And you already established it can be done.
So I established it could be done on a very small scale. I don't think
we'll do it on a very small scale, thousands of times. Even
with the Hephaestus engine, I don't think that's no. I'm just gonna say
I'll make the second faux Hephaestus engine with my nanites, and then we'll have two.
Can we just make the ship a better class, like an actual class in the game, better? That's powered by normal.
I mean, it's already kind of like that, yeah, with the Hephaestus engine. And the Sample in it, right? We can upgrade things and stuff.
I don't know what the biggest ships are, but it doesn't really matter. I just thought that'd be fun.
But yeah, if you guys are fine with that, I think we can just kind of do that, right? Like, I just don't know if there's anything to be done in the Scylla system anymore. Because I think the idea was you guys are going to visit Evangelia, maybe try to figure out the Hephaestus engine there, and then go to New Kasern and maybe figure out more about the aliens there. But you've already done that in another post-cog vision. Like, you've done everything you can do, I feel, and all that stuff. So
we've got the dragon slaying sword.
Exactly. And now it's time to slay the dragon.
I mean, unless we were still planning on dropping off Ziva, because I know that was it. Oh, but yeah, no, never mind. We resolved that.
We already resolved that too. So.
Although
the only other thing was the reason for going there was the whole telling Till's family and whatnot.
Yeah, didn't Dylan have some stuff she wanted to do there? I felt like there was some other reasons we wanted to go.
I mean, that could also be done in epilogue, though, right? Like after you do the win of the whole thing, that might be a great thing to do to round out the whole season and be like epilogue on, what's it called? Zanlis, yeah, epilogue on Zanlis. Tell.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. I think that's more fitting.
Yeah,
to do like a Dylan goes and pays respects on Zanlis thing at the end.
Yeah, instead of kind of like as a weird penultimate thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe everybody dies. Who knows? Cool. That sounds great. Because then we can. Right. The idea is I gave you the dragon slaying sword, and it's going to slay the dragon, but there's stuff that is going to happen on planet that you guys won't be able to use the dragon slaying sword to do. So that's why I felt fine giving you this, because then we can deal with the whole space battle thing in hand, and it will be epic and awesome. Like just the one ship that's like taking out all of the other ships, right? But then you guys can go onto planet, do your thing without us having a giant MacGuffin that you can use to solve any problem.
Have the personal thing, while the large scale thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, me too.
Cool. Sweet. Well, let's go ahead and call it there, and then we can do a quick after show and talk about stuff and things.
Yep.
All right. This has been Elysian Road. We're out.